All you have to do is close your eyes and listen.
Welcome to episode 44 of TSGG Chat. I'm your host, Kevin Bork. With me this week, we've got Jake. Hey, Jake.
Yo.
Brett.
What up?
Brennan.
Nice to be back.
Yeah, you said words this time. And Kailey.
What a good change.
Not next time, though.
Welcome back. It's been a minute since I've been here.
Jake.
Is this your moment? Go ahead.
Jake.
Monologue. Go for it.
What am I monologuing? That's it.
Oh, you just cut right in right there.
There it is, 10
Have
words.
you
That
been
was it.
in
I'm
a show
back.
before?
I haven't been here in a minute.
Thanks, Arnold.
It's
Arnold.
Wow.
Is that a Terminator reference?
Yeah.
That is horrible.
You didn't like it?
Because he's
No.
back.
I'll be
In
back.
case you were
Yeah,
wondering.
it was good,
I
right?
knew the reference.
No,
it's just
it was
a
I'm
god
impressed that you knew
Oh,
the
you didn't like
reference.
it?
I knew the
It is
I
old.
understood.
Child.
It is a
Did
little.
you like it,
I
Jake?
think I was 3 when
It was
that movie
aight.
came out.
Oh
Yeah,
my
he liked
God.
it.
He was 3 when that came out.
wow.
I think so.
Was it
in the
99?
90s, right? It was
He
90.
wasn't even alive.
Ah, goodness. I
thought
don't
it-
know
I thought
if Terminator 2 was
2000.
99.
No, I think it was
No, no.
90.
Terminator 2 I think was
Terminator
88 or something like
Yeah,
that.
it was in the 80s.
It was
man.
just when
It
I
was
was
in the
born. I'm
80s.
Oh,
pretty
I
sure.
wasn't born then.
I was not born.
I
I've
actually almost
watched
had a
it,
decade
however.
left.
We're nerds.
Terminator
home.
2 was the 90s, I believe.
CGI Terminator,
Terminator 2
not
was the
better
only
than
good
the
one,
originals.
so I don't know what you're
I
talking
can't
about.
confirm
Weirdly
that.
enough, they
Well,
somehow
the
did it better
Terminator
in
came
the
out in 84.
Terminator
Oh my
2 is
God, that was a
19
decade before I was born.
1991
That
was
was
Terminator
91
2.
was 2,
It
yeah.
was 6 years before I was born.
I was 2 years old. No, 3 years old.
You're an old person.
I am ancient.
Anyway, moving on.
Like an old dinosaur.
I remember these
I
films.
am. I freak
fuck?
everywhere I
Kevin's just
go.
going to keep his mouth shut over there. He's like,
Give me
they're not coming for me yet.
Jurassic Park theme song comes up.
I like how you
Yeah,
gave him an old
that's
man
one of the
voice.
best theme
was
songs
the-
ever
I mean,
made,
John
my man.
Williams is the man.
He is the man.
No shit talking from you.
Well, that's not.
I don't know
I don't
who these
even. I was
people
gonna
are.
say
You never
John
seen
Williams?
Jurassic Park theme song.
I've seen Jurassic Park.
The theme song.
It came out the year I was born.
Jaws, Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Hey, Jaws was literally so.
I
Yeah.
played Jaws.
It was
That's
two
a
notes.
cello,
On the
guys.
cello.
That's
It was
not
two
that
notes.
hard.
No,
You
but
play the
the way
cello?
that it was used was
This is a new
masterful.
thing I learned about you.
Played it in high school.
Oh,
He
And you
wasn't
sang.
good.
That was
right?
the first thing I learned. Yep. I did also.
He was
sing.
better at that than the cello.
I mean, all I did on the cello was play Jaws. So,
Masterpiece.
yeah.
you won.
So let's begin the show. Follow us over at Twitter at the TSGG. Subscribe to us at youtube.com/the society. Watch us live at mixer.com/TSGG_online. And you can get early access to us if you subscribe at patreon.com/TSGG. Now let's break down the fundamentals of music.
Oh, this is a.
Just kidding.
Music-
I was
That
gonna
kind
say
of
this
show.
is
Is
a.
in essence terrible, and you shouldn't care about it.
Never listen to a word he says again.
So, Kevin,
You just
what
broke
was that
Kevin's heart in
instrument?
15 different
Not a
spaces.
pan
Was the
flute, but a
point.
what?
Oh my
Not a pan
goodness.
flute. It was a
Shakuhachi.
Shakuhachi. I'm proud of you.
I'm still not going to put it in the video.
Shakuhachi.
I'm not going to correct
As
it.
long as you,
Don't
you
do it.
corrected it now, you said exactly
No,
what
we're
it
gonna
is.
say it
That's
in the next video. Yeah, it's pan flute for sure.
I'm going to say it again. Yeah,
Upon
100%.
further listening, it is absolutely a pan.
It's going into tips and tricks, actually.
These are all pan flutes.
Use the
Tip
pan
number
flute.
6. Don't listen to the pan flute. It's a lie. It's a shakuhachi.
Also a lie.
It's all
So
lies.
yeah,
A bamboo
Sekiro is
Oh,
the game
I
we're
wanna
talking
talk
about
about.
right now. Shadows Die Twice. You can see our review up on YouTube.
It's really good, everybody.
Really good.
And our hype video,
Our
And
boss
our hype video,
compilation.
which I made
Boss
sure to put
compilation.
in hype just for you, Kaylee.
You make me want to stab you sometimes.
That's what I'm here
Every
for.
time.
Kaylee doesn't like the word hype because she's old.
That's pretty much
I
it.
I like to use proper English, and
No, listen,
I am
She's
hype
proper.
is
the hype
not
video.
proper.
If we were using proper English, we wouldn't be using Americanized English. So.
To be
Are
fair,
you
if you
going
say
there
a
with
hype
it?
video, it's not hyped video. It's a hype video.
Right.
I
Yeah,
agree with that.
That's fine.
That's how I
You
used
agree with they?
No, I don't.
More proper English.
Oh, man.
Before we get into talking about
Another
Sekiro,
Yankee
which has
strikes out.
consumed our lives.
It has, yes. Not Jake.
Let's-
Jake's been
let's
playing
get
Outward,
into the
which is
news.
another one.
But
We'll
Jake's
talk
gonna
about that,
borrow
too.
Sekiro, and he's gonna play it.
You're right.
He will,
You're right.
and he's going to love
I'm
it.
right.
Oh, how could you not?
I mean, he could be not so good at it. And
Well,
First of all,
we'll
might
have a
need
me and Brett
I'll at least be
competition, and
better
we'll
at
have a
you,
Kevin
Kev.
and Jake competition.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
if
There
you're
you
better
go.
than me, then you won't need an easy mode. That's all I'm going to say about that.
How much did you play through Bloodborne?
Not much.
You don't understand what I'm saying.
I don't think he played it all.
He doesn't.
I don't think he played
I don't
it
think he
all.
read the Forbes article I sent us all.
Wasn't going to call him out, but you did.
Well,
so.
no. Well, they've.
To be fair, his colleague answered with, "No,
Yes.
it does not need an easy
Paul
mode."
Tassi did
so.
come out and say he doesn't think so, but
Yeah, I'm
it's-
totally against it myself.
everybody to each their own. Honestly, like it is what it is.
I
They had
appreciate
some
it.
strong
From Software
points, but-
games are known for difficulty.
Yes, without a doubt.
You don't go into it hoping it's going to be easy. You go into it knowing you're going to be punished.
Right.
Now, with this though,
Don't cheapen
For
the experience.
existing.
So the
I agree with that.
The one thing that I agreed with, sorry to cut you off, Jake, but we might have the same grill
bad.
here,
Accessibility.
is the accessibility because of the fact that some handicapped people or handicapable people aren't able to play it.
but
Xbox
Microsoft.
and Microsoft did come out with an accessibility controller. I'd like to see Sony do the same thing for theirs.
Well, they
so
hate
that-
you, so.
so that it could be played for them as well. But it is something that it's I think personally it's more on the console or the PC or whatever. It's more on that than it is on the developer of the game. You know what I mean?
Okay,
to
so
make
the
it accessible.
accessibility,
Yeah.
not to play devil's advocate, but the accessibility
That's what you're here for.
here, is that really going to make it easier? No.
No,
it's
but it
not.
makes
No,
it
it's just for
playable
people
them.
who.
It makes it playable, but
Like,
Easier
I
to
don't
me
really
does
care
not
about the
matter.
people
That's
who
not-
are physically fine and just think it's too hard. I don't care about you. I apologize.
Well,
but
the reason I
for
bring it
people
up-
who don't have the reaction speed, they're missing sight, hearing, etc., those people need it. And for that, I'm absolutely go ahead and add it from if you want to, or develop or the console, PC, etc. They should make the
Yeah,
controllers
absolutely,
for it
they should.
yeah, they should.
to begin.
But for to add an easy mode, it's not just so simple as
it's
flipping
an
a switch.
entirely
You're
new
redesigning
development
a lot of
process.
code
and
to
creating
Correct.
Was
the
it-
whole game.
Now you guys have played most of From Software's
Every one of them,
games.
yeah.
So for me,
including Armored Core.
I've
Also hard.
I
Also
played
super
Armored
good.
Core when I was younger, so that's not
That was incredibly hard.
yes. But I played a lot. I played through the whole entire Bloodborne experience. I loved it, and never
Oh,
played
did
Played
you?
that together.
never played Dark Souls though. I don't recall there ever being any mode changes in any
No,
of those
never.
games.
It's never been a
They just get
So-
harder.
They get harder, yeah.
So,
I mean, there's a mode change for that.
So the thing that I'm wondering about this is that
This has been
The-
brought up before.
those
by the
of
way.
you-
Oh yeah, almost
those-
every time they release a game.
those of you who have played these games before understand what you're getting into. Like there's no need to come through it again. And that's the complaint that they're saying is so these are all for the get good players. No, it's how From has developed games since
Also, on
So
top of that, get good, not an insult. Sure, I might spam it at people when they come at me with hateful comments. Sure, I tell them to get good. Dark Souls 3 PvP, love it. But it's a philosophy with these games because it's all about learning and adapting to the bosses and the enemies in this game, getting good and overcoming them. And that sense of accomplishment doesn't happen
it's
in
learning
gaming
of
outside
earning.
of From
You're earning
Software.
it.
the thing about this, it's learning the tempo of every game because every
Yeah.
game has a different tempo and every boss has different tempos that you have to
The
follow.
bosses in Sekiro become easy as hell when you have memorized their
Once you figure
Their patterns.
combos and patterns. They
You
become
get good at the mirror
easy.
counter,
And
mirror
that is
counter.
that is what From does. That's literally every game they've ever done. If you learn the boss, you will be able to beat it.
that goes for every enemy type.
Dark
Yeah, like-
Eater, the dragon in Dark Souls 3, he was super hard.
Yeah.
You can't learn him.
Okay, so
He's
you're
just
talking
hard.
New Game 8.
Right.
New Game 10, actually,
I
I
was doing a lot
counted.
of research because I've never really played them. I played Bloodborne, and that was just about it. But I know that almost
Souls
every
light
single
player.
every single Dark Souls game has every boss follows a tempo of combat, and that's what they were explaining. Some of them alter their tempos.
Dark Souls 3, yes. They
Yes.
do, the AI does learn and it does alter
Yes.
Sekiro,
based on
they
what
do
you
a
do.
lot.
And
'Cause
Sekiro does as well.
Because
from what I
there
noticed.
were some bosses that that they said were harder just because their tempo immediately changes the how you play the game
they'll
aspects.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
So I mean, this is all about repetition and learning how you play. Like that's
Yeah.
it's
Well, that's
it's
why
Which is why
that's-
expect to die, because you have to
Which-
die to
Literally,
learn.
they tell you going into the game every single every single ad for the game, everything like that, they said you're going to die. Just
Well, I
own
mean,
it.
the tagline for Dark Souls 1 was prepare to die. So if that's
this
not
one's-
telling you what,
This one literally just says shadows died twice, so they're still dying.
Still
Well,
in the
that's-
game.
every comment in Twitter is, I died a lot more than twice.
Yeah, well,
Which
that
is
doesn't-
expected.
That's not for the player though. That's for the character Wolf
Correct.
himself
Yeah.
and the mechanic of dying. Yeah, that's what it is.
No,
And that's exactly
And
the
There's
point.
so-
stuff later on.
Dying
But
Yeah,
why
later
does it?
on.
But
is a
why does it
mechanic.
have to be
Right.
easy?
That's part of it.
But
Why does
that's
it have to be
the
easy?
thing.
The
Yeah,
whole
it
point.
doesn't
I
have
don't
to be easy.
I agree with all of this. I think for the most part, there doesn't need to be an easy mode. I think it just needs to be something where you guys
Yeah.
have to learn the game, experience the game.
problem that I
and-
have
Personally,
with
I
people
felt attacked with the Get Good community thing
is,
because I'm a part
is
of that.
they some people are trying to use accessibility as their crutch.
exactly.
Yes, correct.
That's
Which
exactly
people that-
correct.
Like able gamers and people like that, that's fine. Make it accessible, but don't scale it back because people suck at the game
Right.
and they can't learn. They don't realize they have to learn, and they don't realize they have to adapt, and they have to unlock the skills. And once you start unlocking some of these skills, and you get more health, and you get more health, what are they, gourd things?
Gourd seeds,
Gourd seeds.
Yeah, and you get more.
prayer beads.
Yeah, you're going to get stronger, and
Well, every
It
A lot of
becomes-
these bosses become easy.
every
yeah, it
boss
becomes
you
easier.
kill gives you a memory that makes you stronger. It
Yeah.
literally
So-
increases
This game
your attack
sounds so.
power.
I am so mad that I didn't get on this train like
It's so
fast
good.
enough
you have
because
to
like
play
so
it.
good.
It's so good.
So I've had games. I'm not the best gamer. I like gaming.
Mhm.
Like Shadow of Mordor, not my style of game. I sucked at it really bad. But I didn't go off on a tirade going, "This game is horrible because I can't manage to
game-
finish the game."
Had an easy mode too.
Yeah, it is.
No, I just didn't.
I normally just play on normal
Well,
because
one
that's
of the biggest things about easy modes
I don't
is
need to
that
sweat.
as gamers, a lot of us have that pride thing that's like, I ain't going on easy mode. Regardless,
Okay.
I'm not going on.
If there was an easy mode option, I would take it. And that's what I like about From Software. They don't give me an easy way out. They make me work for this
Yeah.
win.
Well,
Yeah, because you don't
Miyazaki
want to
literally
sweat.
came
That's
out
your
and said-
thing. You
Yeah,
don't-
I hate. There are very few games I care enough about to get
Well,
sweaty with.
From is
Is my company to
he
do
would have
that.
done
There's a double-edged sword right there, because in one situation I'm looking for a challenge, and another one, if the combat and everything is abysmal, I'm gonna throw that thing on easy mode and get through it as quick as I can.
Yeah.
Well, that's
A
the
la
From has never
Spider-Man.
had bad combat. So
put it on
a la
easy to get through it.
Spider-Man.
right. No,
No, I did because
The thing with Spider, combat wasn't bad in Spider-Man. It was
It-
just
it
the
was.
grinding,
No,
repetitive.
it's not good.
garbage. Oh, you've changed decisions
I
on this.
never
totally?
liked the combat
Oh
of
my
it.
god!
I thought it was
I
smooth.
like the
You just-
combat in
I thought it
I
Spider-Man.
didn't like the
easy.
combat of it.
It's
I didn't like
super
the enemy
repetitive.
types.
Yeah.
It's just way too repetitive. It's one
Yeah.
fight
That
over
was
and
my
over.
issue.
I didn't.
This
I never
repetition.
got to
All the
Silver
boss
Lining.
fights are
So-
terrible.
Well, that was awful.
Silver
The boss
Lining.
fights are
I didn't get
over
to
and
see that
over.
one.
You
I
grab
got it.
something,
So
grab
the
an
point
object,
is-
swing it at them.
The DLC was the same.
If the
DLC
game
was
if the
more
game
the
is
same.
upfront and honest and open the whole time, as From has
Yeah,
been,
Miyazaki said
about how challenging this is going to be, it's on you as the gamer to either learn the skills or not sink your financial resources into buying it.
Well,
if that's not the kind of game challenge that you want to have, and you know from their whole catalog that this is the kind of game it's going to be, then that's on you.
Miyazaki came out and
There's-
said, "We're taking multiplayer out of this because we want this to be hard."
Right.
People, he came out and said people have abused the multiplayer in Dark Souls to beat bosses because you can abuse that mechanic where
Yeah.
one grabs aggro, the other grabs aggro.
the
and you
kiting.
shake-
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. People think they're super good at games like this because they could summon their
'Cause
way
they
through
were-
Dark Souls.
And
Kiting, yeah.
He came out and said, "We're not doing that. You don't get a friend in this. You're going to get good." And that's
You're
literally.
gonna get good.
and
Yeah,
that's
well,
the
what he
whole
means
point
by
of the
that is
game.
you need to learn.
Yes, absolutely.
Like they're designing this for you to learn the patterns, and as soon as you learn the patterns,
The game
you
is
can
much
take
easier.
them down. Like, and then that accomplishment that you feel,
Right.
you don't get in other games. Like
Because you've earned
At
it.
all.
Kaylee mentioned Shadow of Mordor. I want to jump forward to the sequel, Shadow of War. Another
Don't get me started.
site reviewed Shadow of War, and they actually docked at points because it was too easy. So where's the line?
Yeah. Well,
You're going to dock a game because it's too easy,
See,
and now you're
difficulty-
complaining about this one because it's too hard.
Difficulty shouldn't enter that conversation.
I-
It's
I
what a
agree
game
with you.
is.
I
Like,
agree.
The mechanics of how well it functions for what they're
you
doing.
can't grade a game on it being too
Oh, that
easy, or
is
you
one of
being
the-
too good.
That's one of the
Like,
top sites, by the way.
So
That just doesn't make any sense.
So-
to me.
complaining about the mechanics if the game doesn't do their own mechanics well, but
Which Sekiro nails every mechanic in the game.
There
But
are- you can't
that's not
complain
this
about
case.
mechanic in this game.
This case, they teach you exactly what you need to know. They tell you in certain areas
There's
of what you need to know how to beat the boss.
Literally a trainer.
The tips. Okay, we
take
will,
your time and visit the trainer.
absolutely.
If you learned anything from the stream, visit the trainer. One guy did, one guy didn't. One
And-
guy did much better. One guy realized you can block,
And this game,
and
okay,
I didn't. I
from-
suffered.
From loves their lore. Okay, we're releasing a tips and tricks video. It's coming out on our YouTube. It's probably going to launch tomorrow. Well, we're recording this, but it'll be Monday. You guys won't hear this till Friday, but it'll be out for you.
In the future.
Yeah.
but
In the past,
Well, whatever. We're releasing a video,
Future's
but
past.
God, we're weeps.
one of the biggest things that From loves to do is put tips and tricks, one, on their loading screens, and two, in their lore.
Well, Dark Soul didn't really
Now,
have
if you
loading screens
choose
like that,
to
but-
ignore this,
That's
again,
on you.
that's on you as a player.
He is 100% accurate with that because, like,
He is right, because I
Yeah.
ignore that stuff a
And
lot of the
I
time.
came downstairs. I'm watching him do a boss fight, and I'm like, yo, why aren't you using this? And he's like, what are you talking about?
That's not going to work. Word for word, I said that, and I used it, worked immediately.
And I was
like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it tells you in the lore that this happens if you do this. And he's like, all right, this isn't going to work. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. And then it immediately worked. And he's like, oh, shit.
it worked.
And I was like, yeah, this is multiple times. If you
Spoiler alert, that was against probably the hardest boss in the game.
if you read, it will tell you and it will make things easier. And not only that, on top of that, they also have little cheeses that they love to throw into bosses. And in this game, there's a boss that has 3 phases, and you can completely skip one if you just do this. And they will provide you that. And if you're
And
not
you have to find it.
exactly,
It's there for you to find.
And if you're not paying attention to
Okay.
that,
It's not glitches.
super easy to
It's-
find.
it's-
Yeah, but it's
called
not
click
it's-
L2.
It's
You're
not
good.
glitching. It's not
Right.
breaking the game.
give
They
you it.
put these things in there.
absolutely,
Again,
because
It's
they,
up for you to
reward-
discover.
they recognize how hard their game is, and
Yeah.
if you're going to put the time and effort in to learn that, then good on you, and they're
Yeah.
going to give you that,
And you're
going
going to
to
get rewarded
so
for
important.
bothering to go deeper into the game.
Exactly.
Yeah, there was one of the generals I was talking to you guys earlier about. They have a path for you to take. He's at the top of a staircase. You can march up the stairs and face him. He has 2 bars of health. Or they have another path off to the side
Right.
through where you go through grain.
Some wall ledges.
And then you climb on the ledges and you can get behind him and do a killing blow and take 1
Whole
health bar, eliminate it
Yeah.
completely, and then it's a one-on-one.
And that's for most elites in the game.
And because
Most
of-
of them give you an opportunity.
And the
to
There
do
reason
is
that.
for that
opportunity there.
is because the
and
lore
you
of the
also
game,
have the
you're a
opportunity to rush in.
shinobi. Like
You're a ninja.
Yeah.
shinobi
You're
are
not
known for
supposed to be
stealth.
up in your
so they will
face,
give you that.
frontal battle. You're supposed to be in the shadows.
Yes.
But if you want to,
You can.
you can.
You can be a samurai.
And
He's good enough.
So, like
It's
Kevin
just
said,
hard.
if you guys watched the stream, you saw Kevin die against a chained ogre 50,000
goodness.
times.
So many
18
times.
times.
And in the
It was 18 times.
18.
in the loading screens, they tell you
Etched on his
red
heart.
eyes enemies
Are afraid of fire.
terrified of fire.
Yep.
And that's a red eye enemy. And me being the broadcaster, I wasn't going to tell.
He didn't
Kevin
tell
this,
me.
but it tells you in the lore. And I talked to people on Twitter
He
about this.
told me after
And
the
the
stream.
kid, I got responses. It's like, yeah, I don't pay attention to that. That's not the game's
He
fault.
did
That's-
immediately get that.
That is not the developer's fault that you didn't pay attention to the loading screen.
Yeah, he told me after, and then when I restarted the game because when I did the stream, I didn't have any audio and I wanted to hear it myself. So I played it, and then I got to that point, and I remembered that he had vulnerability to fire, and I took him down on the second try. So I mean, he still got me on the first one, but
Well, I mean, it's still going to be hard. These tips and tricks that they give you, they're not game breaking where
Still
you're
not
going to
gonna be
just
cakewalk.
breeze through it.
Not gonna be OP.
Yeah.
No, this game will never be easy. I mean, I'm going to grind my attack power up to like 40 before I start New Game Plus, so I might be a little OP. We're going
He's
to
gonna
find
be
out.
OP. That'll be OP.
a
You
big
will
shocking moment for me was when I got the memory and it was increase your attack power,
Yeah.
and I did it, and it went up
One.
and I was like, oh, oh no.
It actually
Yeah.
makes a bit of a difference.
You
Like,
notice-
you,
It
you
was,
notice
yeah.
the difference.
Yeah, I was
Later-
wondering if
Later
it
on in
was
the game, I
scaling
beat a
of
couple
it.
bosses in a row without thinking, and I was just kind of going through, and then I was like, yo, I have 2 memories, and this is so much harder than it should be because I didn't turn those in. And I went downstairs and I was raging, and I went downstairs and I was like, Brennan, I forgot to turn those memories in. My
Whoops.
attack power is 2 less than it should be. And yeah.
Made a huge difference.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And this is just, they give you so many mechanics in this game, and
Yeah.
every single upgrade and things that they all have their own lore that say This
So,
will help against this.
Prosthetics are sick.
And
Prosthetics are
One of my
sick.
favorite parts of the game.
Also,
how could it not be?
there are textbooks that you need to get.
Skill books, yeah.
Skill books that are
Esoteric
different
texts is actually
esoteric
what they're
texts, which you can miss.
Yeah.
You can go through this game and not get those.
Well, every gourd seed is findable. Every
Yeah.
prosthetic tool is findable. You
Yeah.
have to put the time into this game to
So-
get good at it.
A question about this, because
Prayer beads, also findable.
Yeah.
You have to look around these maps. You
this
can't
has
just
been
run
mentioned
through
probably
it.
before,
I mean,
but
you
like
can. But
The best players can. There's
A
there
while-
are people who
a while
perfect this
back,
game without
you
getting
know,
any levels. So
I don't know,
Good,
let's say-
good on them.
almost, let's say 15, 20 episodes back, the first thing that you guys referred to about this game is that it was going to be bad because it wasn't the same type of
No,
feeling.
no,
And I
We
love
said
the-
we were quote
Concerned.
worried.
they were
Never
very
once
worried.
did I say From was going to make a bad game.
No,
We
they
were
no,
very
but you
worried.
you both did say you were going to skip this one.
I did.
We did. Oh, 100%.
Then I watched videos.
You're right. No, you're right. We were very
is right.
worried about this.
This is the fun thing I like about video games, that they turn around between games depending on, seeing it in the beginning and then playing it now. The feelings that you have towards it now is completely different.
I told you guys Anthem was going to be the best game came out for 5 years. I haven't played it. In
No,
3
you
weeks.
said
He was-
ever.
We
He was-
sat
he was
down.
wrong.
We sat
Yep.
in a very cold room in the back of Kevin's old house, and then the things that we talked about there was how Anthem was going to be the best thing
Oh, yeah.
in
Ever.
history.
and
the
I
history of games.
haven't touched it in
To be
2
fair,
weeks.
And how they had a 10-year plan.
I maintained Cyberpunk 2077 was going
We
to be
still
the
do.
best.
Well, it hasn't really-
Cyberpunk
Me
is
and
still
you.
there.
We still do.
You hold on to
Me
it.
and Jake.
I hope that you're right.
I hope it's.
And you're right. It's just
November.
gaming
Let's
is
hope.
ever changing.
Yeah, guys, that's the cool thing about games. So if you feel like one game is not going to be, up your
Your cup
alley,
of tea.
perhaps trying it again, maybe actually attempting it,
Like
you
the
might change your
Surge.
mind.
Or maybe giving him a
Like the
chance
Surge.
to,
Surge, for
uh,
example.
Brennan said the Surge was garbage because he'd never played it, and then
Then
I
I
played
played
it,
it.
and he's like, "Wow, this is actually a good game." and
Super good game.
You guys should
or
play it.
they could fix
Apologize
stuff
again
that they've broken,
to Deck 13.
Correct.
Yeah.
My
like
bad.
No Man's Sky.
That's one that they like to come back to. Yes.
No Man's
Starts
Sky
broken,
a
now
year
it's
later
fixed.
is a good game, and a year ago you would have said No Man's Sky, and everybody would have said blah.
Everybody
Yeah.
would have said pass on that
I was still
because
blah.
it failed to deliver.
Yeah, and
Their
now
their,
a
their
year
company
later,
is their company. I did not like,
and that's
or
something you have to
respect them
recognize
for a
with
long time.
developers is if they're willing to put in that effort, you have to just your opinion from one day to the next can change, and
Yeah.
you have to be able to you have to be willing.
I mean,
to
look
do
at
that.
Capcom. They turned it around in 2 years.
Yeah,
they
they
went
sure did.
from destitute to some of the best games released in the last 3 years.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Yeah, what you got?
Monster
Resident
World
Evil 2,
DLC is
Monster
coming
Hunter
out right
World.
now.
Iceborne comes
I'm
out
so
soon.
excited.
You know what happened to
It's
my
a-
data?
the fall.
Don't throw that at me.
I
You
can't.
lost
I'm
Monster
sorry.
Hunter too?
Yeah,
No,
'cause
remember
it's a local
he
save.
has to catch
Oh.
up.
I'm
Hurts.
never playing the game.
Different
Yeah,
games do that.
My
240 hours.
That
I'm not
hurts me so
regrinding
much.
it.
I don't blame you.
Local saves. Kingdom Hearts 3 also a local save. So if you guys are switching PlayStations, make sure you cloud save your data.
I did.
That hurts.
Why do I still have Persona 5 if I don't have this?
No, because some of them, like Monster Hunter World, Kingdom Hearts 3, they automatically set to local save.
Yeah, no,
Even
but you-
if your stuff is set to cloud save everything, you have to physically go in and do it.
I probably didn't.
See that
That
hurts
is
me.
an
That-
advantage.
That's
that
a lot
Xbox
of
has.
hours.
And
on
I don't-
Monster
240
Hunter
Yeah,
World.
plus.
Oh my
not
god.
gonna lie. When I've had game ending problems, I've just quit and never come
You
back.
don't
That's
go
true.
back.
How was
Yeah,
so much
it's
Skyrim
time.
for you, Kaylee? Can you tell us
Exactly.
about it?
I'm still fucking bitter about
Okay,
that.
listen.
I
It's
don't blame
been
you.
since 2011, and I'm just like, nope.
Borrow Skyrim Special Edition, mod the shit out of it, make it a fun game,
I
and
have
enjoy it.
Skyrim. I
Use
just
lightsabers
don't
and
want to
you're
get
done.
It's so hard to get back into. Like,
No,
It
it
is.
is.
I have
I just-
never found an Elder Scrolls hard.
Especially with all
like,
the new
I'll
games
agree
coming
with
out.
like any other game, but the Elder Scrolls
No,
has
it's-
always
it's not
sucked me
that-
back in right
it's
away.
not
It's
that
just
I-
a brand
it's
I
not
love.
that you can't have
It's so
fun with
good.
it, and the
Oblivion's
music is
better.
gorgeous. I just
It is.
Don't
it
listen
hurt
to
me on such
I'll
a
argue.
deep level that I'm not quite over it
No,
yet.
I don't
I'll
blame
get
you at
there.
all.
Wasn't this
possibly
years
eventually.
ago?
7, 8.
2011.
She's a hurt person.
She's very hurt.
The
Pain.
I put a lot of time into it, and it really upset me.
exactly. If you
Okay.
like you said.
So we skipped over the news today and went right into Sekiro.
Well, so this was news because
So I'm going to interject some news while we're doing this.
Oh,
Okay, go ahead.
You guys are
Excellent.
talking about the Surge,
Mhm.
and for April's PS Plus games,
I'm excited for this.
you have the Surge and Conan Exiles.
Honestly, I'd pick up both of those.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
for
say
sure.
the
Yeah.
the Conan Exiles is I heard was a relatively decent MMO.
got good
so-
physics.
Massive MMO.
Great physics.
Huge.
Good physics.
Real good
Oh.
physics.
You should jump a bunch.
Yeah,
See
do,
what happens.
Do the jump test.
They took that out, guys.
Yeah, we know.
yeah.
It's
Well,
such
that's Sony for you. They're always
censoring.
censoring everything.
Watch out, Cyberpunk. They're coming for
I
you.
hope not, please.
But
Sony out of anything.
you did mention No Man's Sky as well.
Mhm.
And so we broke on this show that they had 3 updates that they were going to do that they're rolling into one. And we knew that the first update was No Man's Sky Online. And now we know that the second update is No Man's Sky VR for PlayStation. And we still
I
don't
feel
know
about that one.
what the third one is. So stay tuned for that.
VR's No Man's Sky sounds hard.
It
How do you
sounds-
fly
it
your
sounds
ship?
interesting.
Sounds rewarding.
Yeah, it sounds that could look really
does.
cool in VR.
It could,
Could or could
but
look
it could
really
also
bad.
look really,
You're
really
right.
bad.
It can go either way.
Yeah.
But based on the changes they've
However,
been making,
I'm not,
hopefully they
I'm not
flush
going
it
to
out
go buy a
fully
VR
and
headset
release a very good
at
one.
this point in time.
That's correct.
Yeah,
Well,
I
like
want
we
to
talked
know
about last show, we don't know what's
PS5.
coming with that. So
we don't.
now if there's any news tipping it in favor of one way or the other, then that'll inform my decision. But right now,
Yeah.
not spending the money on it.
Well, it's hard because you imagine
At this
you
transitionary
spend
stage.
the $600
Oh, yeah.
on PSVR, and then you go
$600.
whatever it is,
It's $200.
200
Yeah,
bucks.
now it is.
$200 in
It
addition
started
to
at
the,
like
the
$600.
It was expensive. It was
PS
just like
Pro.
literally the same price as a
Yeah.
console.
Yeah,
And-
actually, it was because when we got the PS4 Pro, over,
God, I want to get a PS4 Pro so bad.
you should.
I
no,
should.
you should.
No, you should.
No,
Wait.
not now. PS5's about to
That-
come out.
that's
Yeah, don't
that's
do
the
it.
thing is like
You
that's
should get an Xbox One X on All Access. $38 a month.
Don't do
I
it.
mean, I already have an Xbox One S, so I mean, really, the difference
don't
is,
do it.
and I don't have
The
a
difference
4K
is
TV.
If you don't have the
huge.
4K set
Oh,
up,
okay.
don't do it.
Nah, don't
anyway.
worry.
So
That's fair.
here's the deal though is like yes, I know that they do the console upgrades and stuff, but I bought a PS4 not too long after it came out,
Mhm.
and now I have the PS4 Pro, and pretty soon that's going to be obsolete because they're coming out with the next console.
Okay, that's like 2020, guys. There's another
That's
year
next
before
year.
But
that.
that's
yeah.
still,
I mean,
it's
it
still
also
a lot of
doesn't
money
immediately
to.
become obsolete.
It's
either.
still a lot of money
Well, a
to
lot of the
invest in any
games for the
particular
first
thing.
year will be on both.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Luckily,
Well,
you're right,
They'll
that
be
would
on
be-
both
Yeah, because
for
I mean,
probably
what
3.
I just got my
4 years.
PS4 Pro last year.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, so I've had 1 year.
right? And you got
June.
your X 6 months ago?
Yeah.
So
Well, that's
Not even
that's
6 months.
that's
Oh.
why I want to know. Like,
4 months.
that's why I'm really
It wasn't that long ago.
interested in Microsoft's E3 because I want to see what
Oh.
they're.
I just don't want
Next gen
to
is
cry
don't
even
to
get me
myself
started.
about. Well, geez, was that a
No, I
stupid
don't-
idea for me? I mean, I know that we
I want to
use
see
it.
more XCloud.
Yeah,
But-
without a doubt.
Yeah, I don't.
xCloud
I
I'm
don't
excited
think
about.
the Xbox One X is going anywhere. Like, that thing is a beast.
Oh yeah,
It's not even hitting its potential yet.
not even close. Developers,
So
because
They have to make
developers
it
are
for
holding
both
back.
still.
yeah, they
because
would have
they're
to specifically
keeping 'em-
design Xbox
they're
One X
keeping them
games to
equal
make
for PS4.
Yep.
Like the X is just way stronger. So I'm curious to how the PS5 and the X compare.
By the way, both Sony and Xbox said they're aiming for more than 10.7 teraflops, so fuck you, Stadia. That's pretty much what they were saying. So.
We haven't even mentioned
Stadia?
the streaming service of
They,
Google.
They did call them out directly with that though.
They did. Well,
Because-
Google calls
messed
them
up,
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And then what?
Stronger
Didn't
than
Apple
both
come out with something
combined.
else right after
Apple
that too?
is coming out with their own.
Apple
yeah.
has something different though. See, so let's get into that a little
Gaming
bit because
is
we
just
Let me-
skipped,
let me-
blowing up.
we skipped
me-
that last week.
Let me interject here. I'm going to
Yeah,
say
go ahead,
because
interject.
I don't know if anybody is aware that Android made its own gaming platform too. Anybody?
Nope.
No.
Yeah, that's why. So put that in mind when we're talking about this. It was called the Ouya, and it was garbage.
How did that go? Yeah, I've heard
yeah?
of that.
Yeah,
I-
that sounds familiar
Went
to
very
me too.
poorly.
I
I expect Stadia to follow a similar path.
I mean, I
Yeah.
can't.
I hope Stadia. I mean,
What do you
I
mean?
never
But
really
see-
want a
but like
company to
Google
fail, but I
we're
want
talking
Google to
because
fail.
I mean I'm a fan of Google. I love Google. I'm all
I
for
use
them.
an Android phone.
But the thing about this is that I don't think, for one, you can compete against something that's been here, like Staples. You can't compete against the Staples that are already here.
Right.
And for two, you're
Staples, the store is pretty good.
and for two, you're also trying to enter a marketplace that you weren't in. Like
Yeah.
Also, they're trying to enter that marketplace with only
inferior.
They're super
Yes,
aggressive
inferior
about
games,
it. But
That's my thing.
And
they went in and
downloaded
said,
only
"Fuck
games,
all
digital.
of you, we're better." And
Digital
that's
only.
it's
not the right
not
way
that
to
they
go
don't have
about
the
it.
financial resources to back
Oh, yeah.
it, but it's kind of offensive for people who've been along for the whole time,
Mhm.
Yeah.
watching their various fandoms.
I mean, I've seen the
Grow
Ouya
and
came up and crash and burn instantaneously.
instantly.
I
Nobody
have
heard
a
of it.
feeling Stadia is going to do the same.
So, yeah.
But
I would honestly, I expect the Mad Box to do way better than Stadia.
the Mad Box.
The Mad
looks
Box
good.
is going to do well.
The sound,
if
everything.
If it
comes out like it's supposed to. If
Yes,
everything,
so-
if design goes well, it meets everything it's
Ironically,
supposed
I'm
to.
rooting for that one too, but I just don't
I'm
feel
rooting
like
for it too.
But the
because I like
difference is
competition.
that they're
Yes.
trying to create a quality product. It's not a blatant cash grab.
Correct.
That's the difference.
Mhm.
Is you
It's-
know that Google's just going for the cash grab, and
They
they
are.
know that it's a multi-billion-dollar industry,
I
and they're
agree.
just trying to get their,
right now
their corner of the market
is
share.
trying the Apple method.
Mhm.
And I'm not talking about Apple's gaming. We'll talk about that in a moment. But I'm
But-
talking about the method where Apple came in, started holding their own press conferences, and started peddling their products to you and became the number one manufacturer in the world for electronics.
And
Yeah.
but the thing about this is that like Google has like put fingers in many pies here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
They-
of course. They're huge.
The thing about this is
They
that
own
I don't
everything.
Yeah.
I don't think that this is one that they should approach.
Not only are they approaching, but these are direct quotes
They
from
came in
their
hard.
event.
Let's go.
Stadia starts an inevitable one-way shift away from consoles.
That's a bad way to
No,
start.
thanks.
Right
According
there.
to Google, eventually streaming will replace consoles entirely.
You see, I'm not saying that that's
They're
wrong.
giving you the chance to join in the future.
No, that's
now.
wrong.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people are scared of digital keys for good reasons. Like the stolen Metro Exodus games.
Yeah.
They just turn the keys right off. So anyone who stole them, which obviously they should have, but what does that mean for people who buy their games?
Because they
Right.
have the
They can just get
capability
those
to do
keys
that.
turned off at
All of
any
a sudden,
time.
there's a lock symbol on your purchase again.
Oh, trust me, it happened.
It happened
Yeah.
to some people here.
But
Yeah.
the streaming portion of
Wasn't
this,
stolen.
I don't. I think if you're seeing everything that's happening right now,
They're shifting towards it.
yes,
I can agree with that.
This is a big
Oh,
change.
They're shifting towards it directly into your console.
So
They're
and
not just streaming.
I
it.
agree, and they're shifting aggressively towards it. We're talking many companies that are gaming,
It's cheaper.
media,
Yeah.
everything.
Which
Everything
is
one of
not
them.
always a bad thing because if that saves them more money to put into the game, I'm cool with it.
Yeah,
I'm not cool with this.
I'm not
I
expecting
know.
it, but this is the thing.
I'm
Anytime
not
somebody
okay with
does,
Stadia.
anytime somebody
not
does
okay
a
with it.
huge, in-your-face change,
Mhm.
it's going to be aggressively rejected by people because it's too fast.
Nobody likes
Well,
change.
when you come
You've
at
got-
it like that too,
You've
yeah.
got to show people
That's what Game
it's a
Pass
safe
is, though.
way.
That's
to-
what Xbox
here's
is
your
showing
safe
with
change.
that.
which
so-
is kind of what Phil Spencer said.
Which is what
So
I think
we've been working on
xCloud is
this
going to
for-
be.
But
so.
that's also why, like, when Xbox and PS4 had their little battle, that one year Xbox lost big time because they were too much
Correct.
too quickly.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
yeah.
the launch of the Xbox One was terrible.
It was awful.
Horribly
It was
planned.
awful,
Yeah.
but
well, not.
it was.
I
it was
still
the-
bought mine
It wouldn't
day
have been
one.
as bad if Sony didn't immediately come out and say, "Yo, we're undercutting it."
Undercut 'em.
But
Yep.
it's
Well,
not just that.
yeah,
but it's also
that
like
plus the trend.
the Connect
Correct.
and everything that they were trying to roll into that was
Yeah.
just too far.
God, the Connect
Too
was
fast.
bad.
I sold my
and
Connect.
if you
immediately.
recall, since you bought it day one, you had to have the Connect.
Yeah.
They wanted you to have that. It was part of their
Mhm.
future proofing of the system at the time.
Yeah, they did for that first one.
Yeah.
I just feel like streaming as a whole is going to be much more aggressively placed in the next coming years.
This is going to fail.
I don't know.
Stadia
I'm,
is
we're
one
talking.
of
I'm,
those.
talking
No.
I'm not referring
Stadia
to
will fail.
Stadia. I'm
It's
referring
gonna
to
be
streaming
both.
as whole.
You're going to keep both because you're going to have the Game Passes, the subscription based. You absolutely will. You're going to have discs.
I really
The
like that.
so-called professionals of the industry,
Bless their
they
heart.
said that consoles were done after PlayStation 3 and 360.
Bullshit.
Whoa, were they wrong? 90
Give me-
million PlayStation 4 sold. Oh, and Nintendo, by the way, they're saying they're
give
just
me the
waving their hand
goddamn
saying
buzzer
hello to everybody
Right now for that. That's a big up.
It's-
If
Bullshit.
I wanted to,
It's going to break
keep
200
up
million
with
consoles
computer
total
gaming,
since
I
this
would buy a
cycle
computer.
started. So
I would spend my financial resources
that's
on
why.
constantly
Right.
upgrading, getting new shit.
Yes.
I don't want to do that.
that's why
I
I'm
want to
interested
do
in
something-
Madbox because
I
they
want-
want to match PC quality on the
I want
console.
the PC quality, but I don't want to have to keep turning around every 15 seconds and they have some
Graphics
sort
card.
of like I went through
2080
that
Ti.
when I was 17. I bought my first computer by myself. I worked really hard to go get like this really beefy system. Bam! They had the the everything just went so fast, and I just couldn't keep up with just the quality of what was coming out tech wise.
And you still can't.
My PC was
to be
like,
fair, a lot of the big people who play on PC, like they future proof and then they keep that for a lot of years and then they do it
Yeah.
again. So
well, that was back when we had a huge boom in chip capability and everything,
Right.
and I just couldn't keep
The
up
dark
frustrating
ages.
part
because
with
I bought
Now it's
top
much
of
different
line
now.
at the time but it was obsolete within like
Yeah.
6 months.
Got that.
And the frustrating part there
150
is
back
the thing you spend $1,000 on. A new one comes out and suddenly yours is $200, and you're like, "Wow, I'm glad I just spent $1,000 on that." And that is frustrating to see.
Well, that's what
That's the
happens
industry.
every year with the Apple iPad.
So,
Yeah.
needless to say, consoles are never
mean-
going to die
No,
because
No innovation coming.
they're the thing about that is that it's the cheaper process than buying and keeping up to a CPU or computer. And also, there is a lot of following, no matter who you follow with it, that respect the brand as is. Like,
Yeah. There's a reason Microsoft just doubled down on theirs and said we're doubling our console budget. Like
Yeah.
we're throwing money at this now. This is
I mean,
Perspectively-
Microsoft has money to throw at it.
They do.
So.
Respectively, folks, let's
be
just
fair.
put this in, like, every single person in this room literally has a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox, whichever grade it is.
And an
well, I'm
Nintendo
not
Switch.
done
Or
with
Nintendo Switch.
I'm not done with Google yet.
Oh,
by
keep
the way.
going. Sorry, I was
Sorry.
just...
So they also said on stage that the single player game is done. Nobody plays those anymore.
Fuck off.
And it's all about competitive online games now, and that's what the future is.
That's how I,
mean,
know
they-
they're going to fail because they're already cutting their market in half.
Yeah.
To start, they're cutting it in half. And with the inferior trash they're going to have as games anyway.
This is what they're seeing. They're seeing the fact that
Yeah, I'm
esports are
being
huge.
blunt.
They do.
It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and they
Yes.
want in.
That's what they want.
Correct.
But not everybody wants that.
Nope.
I don't want to.
You also
co-op
need
people.
a game to become an esport
That's the
first.
thing as well.
Yes, you do.
is
And that's hard to do.
You have established games in the esport arena right now, and they ain't coming to Stadia
They are,
because
They will be coming.
they have to specifically design them for Stadia because it's
Yeah.
a completely separate service.
Well,
that-
Google can afford to throw
Yes,
the
they
money
can pay
at it.
them to
oh,
do
they're
that.
throwing
They will be doing
140
that.
billion at this.
They're investing
This
to
is-
bring games to
But-
the service.
But
So-
again,
But if you don't have a good enough internet connection, which is a very, very large gaming market, those people do not have access.
Yeah, because everyone
LA,
in
New York.
America with our great infrastructure and internet and the know-it-alls of our government who know about the internet. Yeah, we have great in America. Great
From
internet.
Software just released a single-player game that has sold how many? One of you guys
I
have
don't
that.
even
a
know.
masterpiece.
I'll find
Well,
it.
as far as rating goes, it's tied with
I
Resident
don't know
Evil
if sales
2 for
numbers are
best
going to be
rated
out
game
yet
of the
because
year.
it just
So
released a week ago.
This is literally like,
Oh, we'll
this
have
should
both
be-
by Japanese companies.
we should
I'd
have
like to
week one
point out.
sales.
yeah, at least this should
should be
be
able to find 'em.
eye-opening ideas to show you guys this is not. I mean, there are many games that are multiplayer. Everyone plays multiplayer games.
By the way, that
shit
other
we just
game-
talked about Monster Hunter World.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is a single player game.
Exactly.
That other game that's rated best of the year, also a single player experience.
Kingdom
Resident
Hearts.
Evil
Well, I
2.
can tell you
no,
this.
no,
Resident
no,
Evil
no.
2.
First article
And
May
here,
Cry.
Sekiro.
What we got for Sekiro?
the first article here is actually from PlayStationLifestyle.net, and it's Sekiro Shadows Die Twice tops UK sales chart in opening week. That is the first article of the search. It doesn't give numbers; it just says it is.
Well, it's
Number
not
one.
the first month after.
And
They
but
don't. They probably don't
It
have the report yet.
dethroned
Honestly,
Division 2 in global charts.
Ha,
Multiplayer game.
Week 1.
what is this? Like you,
that right there. There's the proof.
like you,
Took
like,
it 1 week to beat Division
and
2.
this is a 2019 game. This is not a
Yeah,
2000. This is not games beforehand. This is a game that literally just came out, and people are loving it because of what it is.
From
as
a
single-player
company
game.
Who's made
only
single player
makes
games
single-player games.
for
So,
years. I mean, they've had
We need
obviously
to move
multiplayer
on
aspects.
from here. We'll have more discussions
fucking
about
go-
this as we learn more
I'm about to make a
information.
podcast
Yeah.
about Stadia being a shit.
One final
game.
note for Stadia for me, though, is when it comes to, as you know, games preservation. This is something I care deeply about, and this is something that an all streaming service is going to inevitably get rid of. You won't be able to share these experiences because one day they will lose the license and you won't be able to play that game that you love so much anymore. That is the negative for me for streaming services.
I'm just
Yeah.
downright offended by it. Like
My,
it's
my
literally
thing with
like
Jake, like Jake said, everyone at this table has both an Xbox, a PlayStation, and a Switch.
proof.
So
And
clearly
PC.
we like
You also have-
consoles.
Yeah,
still.
every single one of us has a PC of some sort.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean,
so and that's the other thing. I agree with what Kevin's saying. It's like I don't want to spend money on something and have it just disappear someday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I choose to sell it or get rid of it or something, that's on me. But I like to have a physical, tangible copy of something. I don't even
I'm about
like
to
buying digital
Twitter
copies of
hate
stuff
on
because
Google
it
right
makes
now.
me upset because I want to feel like I've accomplished something. Like I want to physically touch my object
Right.
and put it into my game system, and I want that. Now, I know I'm an old person, so therefore it's
Super.
Oh
old.
no! I mean,
But-
if we had to, we do it with Xbox because we are both able to play that one game.
right,
That's-
and there's benefits.
But if you had the choice where I could just put it in and we would both get it because both our Xboxes are in the same house, then I would definitely go physical.
Because I'd get those collector's
Exactly.
editions.
I know the collectibles are there for you to have and enjoy.
And I know not
they're-
everybody's
most
going to have
of the time,
space
they're
to
really
have
good.
a gigantic library of games and stuff if they want to spend their money on it.
By
But
the
Oh,
way,
we have-
can we talk about Sekiro's collector's edition?
Absolutely.
$90 for one of the best ones I've ever gotten. It's unbelievable.
What's included in that?
You get the steel case, which is fantastic, and it's also why Jake gets to play the game because I have a physical copy. You're welcome, Jake.
And digital.
You get a statue, 7 inches, which is remarkably detailed for $90.
It actually is.
It's not the greatest statue I've ever seen, but for $90,
It's
can't
really,
beat it.
really good.
Can't beat it. It has some weird little instructions on how to put the sword blade in your hilt of your sword, which is pretty self-explanatory but I appreciate it. Looking out for us.
That's the easy mode for you.
There you go.
There it is.
It comes with an art book, which one of my favorite things about any collector's edition
My
is the
absolute
art book.
favorite.
So
Don't
and
forget
by
that
the way,
Assassin's Creed Odyssey art book. Oh my, that's beauty.
No,
Anyway,
I would put
I'm literally
Sekiro
tweeting
above
right
that,
now.
honestly. The art is fantastic, and it comes with the digital soundtrack, which is a lot of
Don't
pan
forget the
flutes.
vellum.
pan
with
flutes.
the Shakuhachi,
The map of the
You are
world
right.
Yeah,
I
the map
did
too.
forget the little
on
scroll.
a vellum scroll. It's very cool.
that's awesome.
And don't forget the coins.
We can't get those out there.
The,
The
coins will
coins
stay in
are
the packaging
still
forever.
stuck in the box. They're super hard
Rip
to
that
get
thing
out,
open, man.
but they're
Cut it up.
super cool.
Those coins out.
Little coins. They're sen is what they
Yep.
are because they're from
Directly from the game.
currency. It's
Cannot
just
get them out of the box.
just a
You
super
want some
cool
I'll help you.
$90
It only
purchase.
cost you 1
And
cent.
cent. Continue. What we're talking about?
Now compare that to any other collector's edition I bought, which is usually $180 to $200. So it was such a good deal, and I'm one of the very
I'm
few
paying a lot
people.
of money for the Mortal Kombat one.
One of the very few people in New York who actually got that. So
Might have just had a
It's
little
steal.
talk.
All right. Moving on to one more of these streaming services. This one I'm actually okay with. Apple Arcade
don't
is coming
eat
later this year.
everything
And they're
here.
going to have over 100 exclusive games as part of their subscription. One thing to note is that when you subscribe to this game, if you know anything about mobile games, most of them are
Transactions.
cash traps. As part of this service, which they're not promoting enough, in my opinion, if you subscribe to this, every game in the service will have no microtransactions. You get a full game.
Mhm.
Huh.
Every game that's in the service.
That's very
So
cool.
is
Do you get a bunch
This
of
is all
stuff
mobile
you
games
could pay for
streaming?
though?
These are, well, they're not all mobile games. Like, there's a game called Oceanhorn,
Mhm.
and that's on my Nintendo Switch right now. It's like a kind of like a Legend of Zelda game.
I think I
and
think
the
we've seen
sequel
this
to
already.
it, Oceanhorn 2, is coming out on this service.
Okay,
It's
that's very
so that's what I was
exclusively,
kind of
yeah.
curious about when you said exclusive games. Like, what are they
Yeah,
getting?
they have
that's
the creator of SimCity is making a game for this service.
Oh, that's lit.
exclusively. so.
I do
So
like
I was going to
SimCity.
say like because there's some mobile games
I
that
like
are
any
specifically
city builder,
designed
honestly.
for the
They're
cash
fun.
grab,
and I like to
and I
tornado
was
them
curious
afterwards.
how that's going to work.
Yeah, because
Natural events.
Like, it's really
Natural
good to
disasters,
know
I mean.
that you're going to be getting full quality games in the service,
Rather
so
than microtransaction
that I actually
traps.
approve of.
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of this
Yeah, because the
hate,
value
honestly,
there is
comes
for
from
the
the way
player.
that they're coming at it with
Yeah.
Stadia.
Stadia,
as well.
yeah, it's just
So if
their
Apple's
whole
coming out
outlook
here and
on it.
saying, "Look, guys, we have exclusive games. They're coming out here
No
on our streaming,
microtransactions.
What's the benefit to the customer?
and they're not coming out and saying." Fuck everybody, we're the best, and this is
Yeah.
how we're gonna do it.
This is- we are the future.
This is the
teraflops.
future.
Yeah.
Like that's where you're gonna rub people the wrong way. And I get that if you're coming
Like
out,
all of us.
if you're coming out and you're gonna say that, and then you're gonna blow everybody away with your stuff. But if it's coming out hard like that, you're gonna rub them the
Underwhelming.
wrong way, and it goes really underwhelming. Then people are gonna be just like, okay,
Hating
see-
on you on Twitter all the
they're not
time.
talking about what the actual benefit to the customer is.
right? Yeah.
They're talking about here, shareholder.
Okay, no,
this
no,
is
no,
your
no.
benefit.
So what they're saying is the benefit is that consoles are going to disappear anyway, so we get on it with us now. That's
Yeah,
the,
Yeah, but
that's
that's,
what
not.
they're saying,
supposed
yeah.
But that's
benefit.
not. But that's
And
not
Apple
really a
said,
benefit.
Hey guys, 100
Correct.
exclusive games.
That's not
Enjoy.
a benefit.
And
Right,
that's-
these are more
that's a
like
legitimate way.
these
to
are
come about it.
tailored games for
Correct.
their devices, so they're going to play well on those devices.
Right.
They're not competing with consoles. They are
You don't
tailored
need
games.
an internet connection at all times.
Right.
Well, you probably would.
You probably will because it's a streaming service.
No, I
but
believe they did say you could play the game.
Can you download them?
Yeah.
That makes sense. I figured.
So
So
I
there's
can't
your
believe
value.
we made it this far into the show, and when nobody has made reference that Borderlands 3 has officially been announced with a trailer.
Can I just say,
With 1
billion
guns.
I said it super fast so that I could beat him. 1 billion guns.
He's like,
And
first,
guns,
Guns
with
with
legs.
legs.
Guns with
I
legs.
got that
right
Guns
there.
that talk. Guns that shoot for you. You can just walk around.
Yeah,
Like,
so
I cannot wait.
I am so excited for that because I'm a huge Borderlands fan. I played all of them, so I'm all about that. That's going to be so
God,
fun.
I'm a
Man
looter
came up
shooter
to me
guy.
yesterday. He goes, I need to find a squad for Borderlands. I headbutted him in the nose
You should.
immediately.
You should have.
You
Your
what?
squad's sitting right here.
Yeah.
Correct.
You fool.
I am a looter shooter guy.
Yeah.
They said 1 billion guns, and I said, what face? Oh, 1 billion with a B?
he's like, I'm going to collect them all.
And if
I
you
said-
haven't played a Borderlands game, all of the guns
Are different.
magical.
This is what I said to Brennan because I said there is no way there's 1 billion guns in this game unless it's different roles and they're counting that as a different gun. And then we sat and discussed it, and he said, "This is Borderlands. They don't do that." And I
Guns
They
with
said,
don't.
legs.
and I
Brett.
said,
Guns with legs.
Guns with
1
legs.
billion
I'm gonna just throw
different
my gun
guns.
on the ground and walk off.
It's going to get you.
I'm gonna say handle
I
it.
can't even wrap my head around that.
Me
Honestly,
neither. I don't.
I'm trying to think. I'm like, they must do some part
Maybe
of
it's
that
a
of
skill.
something because like
Maybe it's an actual gun. We're
Maybe-
gonna
we
find
don't
out.
know.
Because I was thinking, I was like, they literally, the only way I could think this is possible
They didn't give a
is if
release
they
date,
have a
did they?
random generator for guns.
yeah, they
And if
must
they
have.
developed a random generator for guns that just creates them, oh my God.
I bet that they did, except
there's no
for
other way.
the legendaries.
Yeah, I bet you
Yeah.
there's some uniques they handcrafted.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They do.
No doubt
And
about that.
You know when you get one of those because
gonna
if
be
you've
sick.
played them before, they are game changers.
Oh, yeah.
literally.
Oh, yeah.
They will change your whole play style and how you approach things.
Now I just charge in recklessly as I slaughter everything.
And the new classes look really cool. The
Uh,
new bosses look really cool.
Oh, yeah.
I
Well, they're
like
not new bosses.
Move
Well-
on from Handsome Jack for the love of God,
right.
please.
I like that the art style is similar but enhanced.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people are upset.
I've seen
I
a
don't
lot of
understand
Yeah, I
it.
don't understand.
Because
That's the
people
same
don't
thing
like
they were
change.
upset about in Crackdown 3, but
I just don't
that's
understand it.
what the game is supposed to look
I
like.
know
That's
it,
their
yeah.
style they go
It
for
looks
in these
like their
games.
style, but it looks super polished
looks
now.
better.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's the thing with me is I've seen gamers and people who are Borderlands players super excited for this, and then I've seen
Critics kind of
critics
hitting it
saying, "Well, this is
a PS3 game.
It's just
Is-
but
look.
No, that's their art style.
Yeah, you guys
Because
got to
they don't
understand.
understand.
You don't have to fix what's not broken.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
People
this-
love these games for a reason.
You don't reinvent the
You're
wheel.
not going to
Yeah.
change the game. Well, yeah, let's make it live action now.
There
Completely
is
different.
Could you
that-
imagine
there is
if
what
they
he's
came out-
saying though?
Could you imagine the backlash if they came out and said, "Oh, Borderlands is live action now"? Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
like-
no, they can't. Do
The
No one
world
would want
melt.
No,
the world
the
would
whole
melt.
the whole point is that the critics have to have something to bitch about so that they can get their
Clicks.
clicks on it.
Correct.
Well, they
that's-
can at me.
Because Jake's on Twitter right now, guys. He
Well,
can
he
is.
is.
at it.
That's
He
what
will fight
Gearbox
every
said,
single
baby.
one
He
of
is
you
currently fist
one at a
fighting
time.
Google right now.
By himself. He has
Good luck.
taken on Google.
Good luck.
You guys can catch it right now. It's the first thing that just popped up
so-
on Google's page.
We led up to PAX
On Google Plus.
PAX East talking
Google
about
Stadia. It's actually that's their
Gearbox's
page for
Yeah.
Twitter.
official announcements
Mhm.
or teases, I should say. And
We knew it was gonna
Another
be
one of them.
Borderlands.
so they were teasing multiple games, and
Mm-hmm.
they delivered another one, even though Borderlands 3 took the
Stole
spotlight.
the show.
Of
as it
course.
should.
Right.
Naturally.
But Grayson Hunt and special guest Duke Nukem are going to be in Bulletstorm in the Duke of Switch edition, coming to Nintendo Switch this summer.
I hate Duke Nukem
I
so much.
loved Bulletstorm.
I'll play that
though.
game just to shoot that man.
I like Bulletstorm a lot. It was a fun game. That was very creative.
It's chaos.
But
That's the point of the game.
It's called.
But
Yeah.
yo, can you
It's
just
just-
give
you
me
don't take
if you're
it
gonna
serious.
do it, you might as well just make it Bulletstorm 2 now. Like, just can we get to that point? Like, I need that, or
It's the Duke of Switch.
I don't care.
Brennan's buying it to shoot him.
And then
so-
there's Risk of Rain
I like
2.
Successful
that
sale there,
Gearbox,
Gearbox.
is going
Yep.
to Nintendo Switch.
I've just
That's very
maybe
important.
the original
Could you
Duke
imagine
Nukem, but the last one they
Borderlands
made
on
was just so
that would be
cringy
great.
bad. It was
That's such a huge world to take with you anywhere you want to go.
I know, right?
Let's just talk
Get that.
about.
The current Borderlands is getting the remastered updates and
yep,
stuff like
Handsome
that.
collection.
PS4, yeah, PS4, Xbox One are getting those texture packs.
Mhm.
4K. Maybe we'll get that bundle over on the Switch too.
Well,
I'm
not
sure.
4K.
Not the 4K one, but you know what I mean.
30 frames patch.
There was also a little tease from CD Projekt Red about a possible Cyberpunk 2077 release date
At
coming
E3?
out, being confirmed and revealed at E3.
So my question is this:
If they release
How-
it at E3,
No,
I
no.
explode on
They
the
will
spot,
reveal
guys.
the release date.
My question is:
Spontaneous
how
combustion.
did they come?
Live stream explode.
How do they come into this show after what they did in last year's show?
Oh,
They show you.
That's
the
how
game.
they do it.
And they
show you
destroy
more of the
you.
game,
Here's
and at
how-
the end, you get that release
let's
date.
do it differently this time because I think my prediction is they're going to start first.
They open it. Yep.
Yeah,
I
I think
agree.
they're going to.
They open instead
Boom.
of crash.
I think-
Cyberpunk music.
I think they're going to
starts the
start
show.
first.
Well, they're
and-
going to be on Xbox's stage. It doesn't. Who else
Well,
could they be
yeah,
on
they're
at this time?
definitely
Yeah.
gonna
PlayStation
on
isn't
Xbox.
there,
Correct.
So, yeah, they,
So
they
who
have
else
to be on Xbox.
Maybe
They don't-
CD has their
they
own
have their own
stage.
stage.
They don't.
No,
No way.
But they're going to start first, and I think they're going to run the show, and they're going to give you the date right there. Boom.
And then they're going to
And then
lead
Phil Spencer's
into.
gonna walk out
No,
with
no,
a
no,
leather
no,
jacket.
no, no, no.
And then
they're going to lead into.
But how can you
The
trust
Witcher
Leather
Siri.
Jacket, Phil?
And we
That's
lose
gonna
our
be cool.
He
minds.
scammed us the last time.
Oh man, I'd lose my mind.
Who scammed us?
Leather Jacket Phil.
No,
Todd Howard.
Yeah, Todd Howard
Scammed us.
No,
Never leather jacket.
Leather
Phil.
Jacket Phil's coming out in the or what is it, Samurai leather jacket this time from Cyberpunk.
Oh, I need
Okay.
that jacket.
I'm not going to stress enough that that's going to be part of it. I'm literally going to go into debt as soon as that game comes out because I'm going to be buying the car
Into
edition.
debt. I'm telling you, man, that is
Jake's just gonna
V's
sell
partner's
himself.
car. You're not going to get that car because
I'm
that's
getting-
a trash car
I'm
compared to
getting
the
the
other
car
cars
edition
you
of that
can
game.
get.
It's just it's
When you're in a
nutty.
supercar flying through the city, you're going to be like, oh my God, Brennan was so right.
CD Projekt Red.
Project.
You need to tell me.
That was so
Project.
You need to tell me when the
Red.
car edition
Get
comes
'em
out
out.
because I will
Get 'em
buy
out.
it
200,000.
easily.
Throw it at him.
He'll
Done.
just refinance his
Jake
house.
will
Everyone
literally
does
sell
that, right?
himself
Yeah, that's what you do.
many, many times.
I will sell myself. I will sell organs right now for it.
Yeah, you only need one kidney.
I was about to say that.
One kidney refinance down payment.
I'm
Boom.
down an appendix,
All
so if
my
you throw
teeth,
one of
take
those
it.
at me.
All my teeth.
Oh my
You
God.
don't really need,
You don't need those. Drive a car.
It's true.
Honestly,
What
though,
a dark turn.
They also mentioned Risk of Rain 2, which you didn't actually hit that for Gearbox, by the way.
You're right.
Risk of Rain 2 was very pretty. I watched the whole trailer for that. I'm excited for that. I never played Risk of Rain 1, but this looks amazing.
well, yeah, they said they released the whole trailer for it and said this is what happens if you run for loot, and then everybody died. And you're like, wow,
Let's not run for
let me
loot.
play that. But
and then
Except
another,
I'm
stay in that
definitely going to
bubble.
run
and
for
then they're
that
bringing
loot.
back Borderlands again, but this time it's in like 4K.
Yeah,
or-
the 4K
yep,
packs.
that's the handsome that he was talking about.
Which, by the time you guys are hearing this, those updates are out.
Yep.
Because those updates came April 3rd, along with more Borderlands 3 reveals.
Nice.
Yes.
1 billion guns.
1 billion.
Oh my god.
And
legs with guns.
in
Guns
the
with
trailer,
legs.
it was very nice to see so many different color of loots.
And
dropping.
I need to do some research on those bad guys because they look sick.
Because in the
Well, they're-
Borderlands
they're
game,
children of the
you
vault.
get so
You get
much
the
loot.
right loot, the right amount of loot.
Yeah, you do.
They don't make your work for
Listen,
that loot.
listen,
No.
You just
They don't.
murder everyone and get that loot.
They don't secretly nerf the drop rate.
Listen.
Oof.
They'll
Sekiro.
have a player base. Month two.
Yeah, it's
Just
Sekiro
play
did it.
Sekiro. We don't talk about that.
It did consume me. It
Yeah, it's all I played.
took me 42 hours for my first
We
playthrough.
got to discuss Outward.
I'll play at least
That's
9 more
what we're
times.
going to dedicate the last 10 minutes of the show
All right, good.
to Outward,
Because that is the game I'm playing now.
which is a game I know nothing about that these guys have been talking about all day.
Jake, who develops it?
And they
9
need
Dot
to-
with Silver Wave. I forgot what it's a company
This-
that's smaller.
This game is out on
11
PlayStation 4, Xbox One,
And
and
PC.
PC.
Yep.
It is out now. It is $40 US.
$39.99.
Yep.
And who
Deep
wants
Silver.
to begin?
Deep Silver.
Who's been playing it? You want to tell us a
Jake.
little bit about it?
Do I raise my hand now?
Raise your
Yeah.
hand.
So, not just to kind of say who
Got the
who-
little schoolboy
the
haircut. You
developer.
might as
The
well.
developer was 9
bowl
Dot
cut.
Studio, which is a very small studio,
11 people.
and the publisher was Deep Silver.
Publish
this
a lot
game-
of indies.
This game, I've been playing it a lot with my buddy Slen, and it's a very
Couch co-op?
no, not couch co-op. We've been
No,
playing.
but it can be.
I know.
couch
can be.
co-op.
It is also a couch co-op,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
you do not get very often anymore.
Yeah, this
True.
is they
You
built it
won't
for
get that on Stadia.
So they call it an adventurer's life.
Just link our
simulator.
androids
And the whole
together.
point of it is that you're literally playing as an adventurer who starts off with nothing, who owes a absolute giant amount of money about a blood death.
and you're
debt.
just a nobody, right?
Pretty much.
Nothing
Yeah.
important about you.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You know,
From-
I've really wanted a story like this where it's like you aren't like the
This
chosen
is
one.
very
secret
good.
princess.
Nope. You literally.
At 17.
It's literally
Getting a
this.
tattoo.
You start off, you get your ship crashed
Throw
because
my
you're
hate
trying to
in
make
there.
money, and then you owe more money because
Your ship
people
crashed.
died during your crash, and you owe 150 silver, and you start off with a whole whopping 20.
Your
and
life is terrible.
Your
is what
life
you're
is
telling
terrible.
us.
Yeah, you're in a blood debt because your grandma screwed some people,
And then you screwed some people now.
and then you screwed some people, and you just owe a bunch of money.
Yep, you owe quite a bit of penny.
Okay, based
What-
on what
what
you've
is-
told me, though, 150 silver doesn't sound like
What
that
is
much.
the one
No, but
thing
you have
that
to
is
have
special
investment
about you?
into yourself.
The one thing that's special about you never die.
There it is.
Yep, you're lucky. So
Regardless of what happens.
Now, is it you can't die, or is it you just get super lucky?
you get super lucky.
You cannot die.
You cannot die. You never die. You are
just
super lucky.
black
So
out, get rescued?
yep, you either get rescued. Like I've gotten one where a hunter will pick me up and send me back to the village, but I'm literally halfway dead and I've lost. Sometimes they'll take money from you.
Okay, I was going to ask that next. Like,
Oh, there's
so
punishment.
say, yeah, what's the punishment? Say I'm fighting somebody and I just choose not to block and they just slay me.
Yeah, because
Sometimes bandits pick you up
and about the
put you in a
combat
cage.
about that. So when you talk
and
about
they take all
slaying,
your
Really?
stuff.
Yep,
you
they
are
take your stuff.
You restart.
so
you
you're
have nothing.
lucky that you don't die, but that's where your luck runs out.
yes,
Not
so
always,
this is
though.
a
Sometimes you
survival
can-
game.
Yes.
there
And
are lucky.
it's very
things that
Dark
he will
Souls
tell us.
esque in the sense that you have
For
you
combat
have
wise.
the combat is very you
I,
lock
don't
on
I wouldn't say it's Dark Souls-esque.
Well,
the combat, it's
roll mechanic-
something I've never seen before.
roll
honestly.
mechanic and
The
shield.
magic is insane.
Yes,
So it
and the
looks
combining
to me,
for magic is also
The
cool.
carrying.
the
system
combat
is
to me
insane.
looks like Lords of the Fallen.
It's I've never
I
played
mean, that
Lords of
was
the
Dark
Fallen.
Souls-esque.
Yeah, it's Dark
No, I
Souls
think
esque,
it's less
but
Dark
the
Souls than
combat is slower paced like that.
It's
So-
yeah.
Well, that also so some of this combat, everything is in this game is decided by what weapon you choose.
Yep.
Like Jake said. When I went into this game,
Okay, listen.
I said
Jake's a Kazite sword. Spell sword.
Spell.
Yep.
That's
I've
all
learned-
I care about.
I've
I
not.
came
Tell us
into
more
this
about that,
game
Jake.
and I said
I'm not. I haven't learned all this.
I came from
Not gonna
Sekiro.
talk about it though.
it's super fast paced. What is this going to show me? And I saw a guy use a greatsword, and it took him 14 seconds to swing it, and I was like, I'm not playing that game.
So
And
yeah,
then Jake
weapons.
has told me.
Weapons literally do affect how you play and you combat.
As they should.
So
Yeah, they should-
like,
I like that.
in the beginning of this, I had only a dagger and a long sword or a short sword, or whatever it is, and
Broadsword.
it was like a claymore, basic, not a claymore, a gladius. So it was like a
Short sword.
yeah.
Sounds like
So
broadsword.
I had a broad dagger, which is like a really thick, looks like a shovel,
Is it a dagger that's broad?
Pretty apt
I hate
description,
you.
I would say.
and everything about you.
That's a fair assessment.
So for the combat portion of this, I can use one. I use the weapon to block, but every once in a while, I can sneak my dagger across and either hit them really hard if they're not blocking, or I can use it as a way to, hopefully stagger them. Is the main point. 'Cause
Can you
I need to-
backstab?
yes. So
Can you drop attack?
well, the backstabbing in this, it's
Brandon's like,
momentum fighting. It's literally you just keeps hacking and slashing. But if you are attacking at their flank when they're blocking, they can't do anything about it. So the actual armor that they're using, it doesn't matter.
Nice.
So
Armor matters in this game.
yes, it does. Armor, if they're blocking and they're wearing armor and they have either like a shield on. One guy had a tower shield and I couldn't do anything until I had Slen basically aggro him so I can get behind him and kill him. So
So
That-
tactical too.
that does
yeah.
matter a lot.
What was his weapon with the tower shield? Does he like spear over it?
He
Like,
had a maul. Like he had this very long wooden maul with like spikes on it.
interesting
So-
combination then.
Okay.
That is.
So what he did was
a lot of strength.
Well, the thing about this is
Oh,
you
he
can't
was a big baddie.
once you're blocking, you can't do anything. You are stuck in block.
Okay, so if you wear, say, a tower shield, you can't like poke around it with a small weapon.
no, you cannot unless
Well,
there's some
if
type of
someone's
special
bashing
ability.
your
maybe.
gigantic tower shield, you're gonna want to. I mean, if they're putting all the force into it, you're gonna want to keep that.
So
from
Yeah.
falling.
So this game is literally you have to survive. You have to kill a lot of things. Kill a lot of
We'll
hyenas. Get their
talk about
hide.
the pack too.
The pact, the magic.
You're back.
Oh, the backpack. Oh yeah. So
Because this is a very unique mechanic that I've not seen in a game ever.
so if you're wearing a backpack, depending on what backpack you wear, it hinders how you dodge, how you block, how you
it's a
do
backpack.
things. So like
realistic.
Yeah.
So like, and if it's heavier, you can't move. If you're wearing too much on either your persons or your backpack, you are literally stunted.
You are encumbered.
Yeah, basically.
and you have to set it down.
Okay.
Yes. So
I
you
have
can-
to say something.
You have to eat and drink.
Because I don't. So this is a survival game.
Yes.
There are
Survival RPG.
sometimes mechanics that I absolutely hate in survival games
Uh-huh.
that I think are bullshit.
Uh-huh.
I noticed this may have them. Food and water.
Yeah, you have to eat food.
How
and water.
often?
Not super often.
Okay.
So, I
Then
mean,
it's
like,
if it's
if-
tolerable.
Daily. So let's
'Cause
say
I would
every.
imagine-
If it's only daily, that's good.
If it's
if-
daily, that's fine.
if my guy's
because
gotta
I'm
eat
gonna
every
mention-
2
one
hours.
meal per day will get you going, or you
Well, yeah,
need
'cause
multiple meals throughout the
If
day?
you eat
Or
too
it's gonna
much,
be
you'll
like
get
you're gonna get fat.
indigestion. And then that'll actually lower your stamina. It'll make you not move fast because your stomach is
Upset.
swollen.
yeah. And if you eat too much, you'll throw up.
Did you play
Okay.
Fallout 76?
I watched you play it. It's not.
Those
It's
stamina
not like that.
That was like
mechanics-
every 2 hours game time. that
Let's
you
say
had
in
to
a
eat.
No, it
total-
was
No,
like
you
every 10
could
minutes.
watch the bar drop.
10 minutes
So-
actual time.
Yeah.
Water consumption happens more often than eating.
Which
That's
makes
one thing I
sense.
Does it
noticed.
do it
sense.
automatically?
No, you have to actually sit
Actually
there
click
and
it?
you have
And
to
is
sit
it-
there and drink that water skin. You
What
know?
if you don't
Is
have
it
water?
a function of like if you're
You
in the
don't-
desert or whatever?
You will,
Can you get like river water? Do you have to boil
There are
it first?
different zones
You
in the
can get
game
river
that
water,
determine you have to wear
if
like
you
warm
had to
armor in the winter area,
Yep.
and it does it.
So
it
there-
is determined.
Yeah, 'cause
Yes,
I thought
that's
that was
important.
interesting. I'm okay with having food and water as long as it's in a realistic. If you're going for realism, I
I
want to see
shouldn't
the
have to eat
realism.
15
It-
times a day.
it
That's
goes-
Right.
so
Every 10 minutes.
now
of real
the thing
time.
about this
Wait,
is
hold on,
I
hold
did,
on,
though.
hold on, hold on. Because while we were talking about that, somebody just threw in there that armor matters. Explain that.
Well, depending on what you're wearing, depends on how you move. Depending on what you're wearing, depends on how you work with the weather, and depending on what you're wearing is how you work with magic. So, if you're wearing heavier armor, you are worse at magic. If you're wearing lighter
Same
armor,
in Dark Souls, by the way.
if you're wearing lighter
Or
armor,
any
usually it
RPG
actually
really.
helps with your mana consumption because mana consumption is important. As soon as you start casting spells, it starts because the way that this game works is they give you a health bar. Let's say every single thing has health bar. There's health, stamina, and mana. They both have the same type of bar. They give you X amount. So you have, let's say, 100 health in the beginning. So if I get hit once, I will take damage and I'll lose health, and then my health bar will lose the amount it had maximum. So
Right. So
if I get hit by somebody, my health that was 100 will turn to 90 even if I heal back up,
then it
unless I find
stays at
something
90 as your new max.
unless I find something that removes the burnt
Nice.
health. So it's
That's
the same
pretty
thing
cool.
with
I like
stamina
that.
too.
It's a
So
survival thing.
Yeah,
if
that I
you're
like.
injured, you're not going to be
Yeah.
able to heal that injury.
yes,
Yeah, the mechanics I'm talking about that drive me nuts are the ones that you visually
drink.
see as you move. They're depleting.
no, you don't see
I hate
that.
that so much.
It'll
No,
pop
but-
up and
Such
tell
a
you if
bullshit
you're
But
hungry.
mechanic.
if you're in
Because that
the
sounds a lot
desert
like,
and you're wearing heavy plate mail,
Yes,
it's going to
you
suck
hot.
for you.
yes.
yeah.
Kingdom Come Deliverance had very well balanced food,
And
thirst,
weather
sleep,
does change in the
stuff.
game.
Very similar to that.
So when I was in Scherzo in the beginning of the game, it was
That's a city.
yeah, it's like a very small fishing town. When I was
Kill
there,
everyone
Can
and
you
take their
fish in this
stuff.
game?
you can't kill anybody in towns.
No.
You
That's
can't
the
kill-
question.
Kevin's a real.
Can you fish in this game?
I have
Kevin's
no
real
idea.
question.
I've never really fished.
I would think.
You're failing me.
Okay, so if there's a food mechanic, I would think you could fish because
I'm thinking you can fish.
Get them fish.
if I'm in the middle of nowhere,
I'm not
there's a
fishing,
river.
bruh. Huh?
Yeah, you
Can-
can hunt.
So you should be able to.
Oh, we're
fish.
fishing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I killed
We will
many,
TSGG
many
fish
chocobo.
and
Co-op
crew.
fishing.
I killed many a chocobo bird in
Didn't
that
work
game.
out in Red Dead, but
I
might
ate
work
them and
out
I
here.
cooked their eggs so they can give me stamina. That's all I needed.
That's actually awesome.
So you mentioned that there is magic.
yes.
Why
You don't actually
walk us
have-
through some of the spells.
Well,
Well, start off with how you get mana because that's a pretty cool.
So you
You
feature
don't
don't
as
get
well.
magic in general.
you don't actually have magic in the beginning. You have to. You have
because you're
to.
a regular person.
Yes.
Keep that in mind.
So there is a mountain in the beginning of the game called a mana mountain. Literally in the beginning, like when you walk to, I don't know what
That's a
actually it's called.
well-named
To be
mountain.
fair, it's called
Mana
something.
Mountain.
It's not its real
Hey,
name.
what's that, guys? That's Mana Mountain.
It's
What
when
do you
you go
get
in there.
mana?
It's
You get
called
mana.
the. It's
You
called
get mana
the.
up there.
It's called the something conflux.
It-
when you
it's
actually
got a
get
cool
into
name.
it.
Oh,
It's
so
the
as a
Mana
cool
Mountain.
It's
name.
not
No,
Mana
it's
Mountain.
not
Yeah.
Mana
You just
Mountain.
made that
So
up.
let me describe like when you're walking in this game, like the green grass. Then as soon as you get closer to the mountain, because it's so infused with mana, the grass changes color. So
Oh, nice.
so all this whole world changes from like this green and regular tree color aspect to everything is like purples and blues now, and the grass does change colors from purples to blues to like a lighter blue back to purple.
I did watch a trailer. The textures and everything look really, really good.
Yeah, in the PlayStation, not so much. But let's not get into that topic because that's
It's a
going to
bug,
be yeah,
too,
it's
so
a
it'll be
bug.
Just a
fixed.
bug because the demo that I watched was on PlayStation.
I went to the mountain, and that's where you get your mana, and you have to go through a trial first. They had to say, well, first you got to earn it. Like,
which
you,
is cool. I like
you
this.
can go through 3 different tunnels to do 3 different things. Each tunnel has its own challenge.
Is it like School of Magic?
No, you just start
There
off.
are schools of
yes.
magic, yes.
There are, but you don't start off with that yet. When you get your mana, you actually have to sacrifice some of yourself to gain mana. So if I had 100 health, I had to sacrifice my health and stamina, and it doesn't grow back to get mana to come to cast a spell. So I went down. I lost 20 health, 20 stamina, and then it was all 80s. 80 mana, 80
nothing you
health,
can
80
do
stamina.
to ever.
You pick how much you sacrifice.
Yes.
Oh, you do that.
Yes.
Yeah, you choose that, and then you lose that forever.
So that's where you pick where you want to be. If I want to be a spellcaster, I'm going to sacrifice 40 health,
Right,
and I'm
yeah.
going to be a glass cannon. That's
See,
that's
I
the essence
chose,
of a
I
spellcaster.
chose mid range. So I chose like
oh
even.
no, I'm going to be a glass cannon.
So
I'll be
you
a
learn
two-shot,
you
but I'll
learn
be
your first
two-shot.
spell, which
One
is
shot.
called Spark.
Let's be realistic.
So you learn your first spell called
One
Spark.
die.
Spark.
Yep, and you can just spark. So let's say if you may have to make a campfire, instead of having a torch, you can spark the campfire to life.
Ooh, I like that.
Or
Yeah, I like that too.
And you can get these things
You
called
have to,
fire
because it'll
stones,
get cold at night.
and you learn fire
I like
sigils.
that too.
If you have a firestone, you can make them. They're like little just infused stones of magic. You can make a sigil with it, and then your spark will turn into basically a fireball. So your spell changes depending on what you're on. And another thing is like the second spell that you learn from that same guy, he teaches you flamethrower. Now the thing about this is you need
Oh, that's my future spell.
you need a source of fire to cast that spell. So you take let's say a lantern or a torch, and then you hold your hand out and boom, flamethrower.
You can manipulate
So-
the fire, but you cannot create the fire.
You can with spark, but not with the flamethrower. That's a different thing.
So that's why you would
Oh,
use
okay.
like the rock or something and ignite.
Yes.
Which you want to use flamethrower.
So
You are the hairspray.
So the thing about this is
Correct.
I've learned in this game that there is a lot more complexity to it that I have not learned. So I'm still relatively novice at this. We just traveled through 2 different bandit camps, and we murdered many bandits.
This is what
And you're on the Xbox?
before this
PlayStation.
for him. Before this, so I was against this game because it was too slow, and I was coming from Sekiro. And then he came to me at work, and he was like, "So last night I was playing Outward, and we went into this prison camp.
Yep.
And they offered us rest, so we took it. And
Hold
I woke
up.
up naked
I'm
and
gonna-
robbed.
I'm
Listen,
gonna
this
pause.
guy's name was Crook.
His name.
His name was Crook.
Crook,
I'm gonna
the
pa-
weird little bandit guy
Let-
sitting at this place saying, "Hey, weary traveler,
Crook the bandit.
So
wanna
And
rest?"
they went to sleep.
Hint, hint, hint.
Let me-
yeah,
Let me
let's
t-
go
so
to
this
sleep
is,
here.
We're playing in my
They got
world.
robbed.
So we're playing my world. So actually, this is the weird glitch about this. We were supposed to lose both of our stuff. Slen decided to pick this guy. He's like, "Hey, we're getting free food, free drink, and free treasure. Hell yeah, I'll click this button." And he knew it as soon as like, "Whoa, we got robbed, fam." That's really what he said. He lost all of his gear. I didn't because he chose
It was
that
a
event.
glitch.
Because it was
Yeah.
in Jake's world.
Yep. So, but as we were playing,
This
I
does
had,
not end happy, guys.
No, it doesn't.
This does not end
The game
anywhere near
remembers.
happy.
The game remembers.
The game remembered completely what happened, and I got effed for it. So,
How so?
well, so we were supposed to work off our debt. I don't know. Like the whole point is the guy got us down here.
This
we're
is an
supposed
event.
to. Yep, we're supposed to work until we work off enough debt to leave. So we had to work in these mines. We're basically in prison until then.
What kind of work are you
Mines of
doing?
Moria.
Well, we
Mines.
pick up
You're-
a
you're
pickaxe.
mining?
Pick up
Yeah.
a pickaxe and you hit the wall
Well,
for
that's
some
not
more.
what they did.
Yeah.
That is not what they did.
So what I did, I was like, "Yo, I have all my shit. I'm just gonna challenge this motherfucker for a duel." And then I didn't.
Duel
he
for your
literally
freedom?
said all this out loud.
Uh-oh.
I died many a time.
He destroyed you.
So I had extra equipment on because I was
But
like,
when you're
"Son."
with a partner, they can resurrect you.
Yes,
They
that's
can
the
bring you
fun
back
thing
up.
about that. So son, I had
Infinitely, or
yes,
Yep.
So you're not going to die.
But your health again. Every time you get hit, your health drops
Okay,
down.
so
So-
when you challenged him, he didn't attack Slen?
no,
You just
well,
left poor Slen alone?
no. Well, they'll choose whatever is the more important enemy,
Like,
and
if you're a
that is a
ranger-
factual thing.
If you're a ranger, everybody targets you because
Folks,
they know you're shooting. At
If
them
you
from a
are
long
playing
ways.
this game, keep this in mind. If you are an archer, they will literally target you instantaneously. They'll be like, "Oh, you got a bow? Okay, gotcha. We're just gonna go straight for you."
You can be a magic archer?
If you, I don't know yet.
I know what I'm playing.
oh, me too, man.
I don't
But
know
they-
yet. So keep-
your partner can fully aggro everything in the room to him, and the moment you notch an arrow, they all turn.
They're
you
like,
know what I'm
they-
doing?
I'm not going to
Yeah.
I'm not going to
Turn
fall
around.
for
I'm a
that shit.
Hawkeye these bitches and hit him in the face.
yep.
They
So
turn around.
it's the same thing about using magic too. Magic is the same way. Once you start pulling out a flamethrower, they're like, "Yep, you gotta go." Like,
Yeah.
You are the
They know
OP
the-
enemy.
they know the
we are
threat.
coming.
I
for
like
you.
that AI.
I like
mechanic.
that too. Yeah, that's really nice.
so we were playing, and my health dropped down to the point where every time you res me, no matter what I did, if I got hit once, I was dead again.
Yes.
So no
Because
matter
of all the injuries, you get 20%
And-
health. You're at 20% health.
an arrow takes much more than 20% health in that game. So
well,
if
how do
there
you get
are-
rid of these ailments?
I have to sleep it off.
Oh, okay.
So an arrow
Which makes sense. You're resting,
very
you're recovering.
sleepy all the
Yeah.
time.
So an arrow literally will knock me the fuck out in that instance. So I dropped my backpack once to make myself limber.
So
This is
arrows
where he got
sound
messed up.
good.
Yes,
Yes.
they do.
They don't do a lot of damage, but they are like you can collect. I have 90 arrows in my backpack at all times, and I can
Wait, you just
keep,
said they don't do a lot of damage.
I mean, no matter what,
Enemies' arrows do a lot of damage.
and
to
keep
you.
in mind that I can switch
But there's
aggro.
no way for you to get better at archery.
I have no idea yet because
Okay,
okay.
I'm
not
gonna play
wrong.
this game when I get home. I'm
There's
gonna
still a
find out.
chance.
the world is so vast.
Sniper Man exists.
And keep in mind, every time you die, if both of you die, you have to restart.
Yep, you have to pick up everything.
Unless
Restart
somebody,
what?
unless somebody nice,
game?
Go
no,
pick up your book bag and
unless
you
You lose all your
unless
stuff.
somebody
You lose
nice
everything?
saves you,
you're done.
you have nothing.
So you said this is 2-player online.
Yes,
Do you see other
And
players,
split-screen
or is
co-op.
it closed?
it's just
Instant?
it's just closed.
closed.
It's 2-player cooperative. That's it.
So what things are there to do?
Oh well, you
So you have
didn't let him
bandit
get to the
camps.
part where the game remembered.
Okay,
Oh
so
yeah, get to that.
So we'll quickly. I dropped my book bag once. I'm like, Slen, go ahead and pull through that. And he first grabbed a weapon out of it, and then I got killed. And then I picked up my backpack one more time, and I dropped it again to fight. And then he looked at it. He looked at the backpack, and he's like, "Wait a minute, all my shit's in here now." My backpack vanished.
Turned
And
into
it replaced it with his backpack.
Because he was the one supposed to get robbed.
Oh,
So the game remembered and said, "Oh wait, we messed up," and switched them.
oh no.
So I literally lost everything at that moment.
Except what he had
So,
on.
Yeah.
the lesson here: if you're in your friend's world, don't prompt his events. Let him do that.
Let me decide.
The world.
Let the world F me.
Yeah.
So what was the question you were going to ask me?
The question is, what is there to do in this world? You have bandit camps
Well,
because it's an open world.
There is a
survival
story
game.
that you flow through.
there is a story.
Yeah, so there is an actual story that you go through. Like right now, I have been prompted in order to remove my blood debt of thousands and thousands of silver. I can go to another city and choose a faction, and they'll clean my blood debt off.
Oh,
And they'll
wow.
train you.
And then you work
Oh,
for
so
the
you mean
faction.
the mafia?
Factions versus factions. So
Right.
Yes.
if
I want to hear
I
more
wanna
about the
be-
training you.
Yes.
if
What
I
did
wanna
they
be in
teach
one
you
faction
things, yes?
and Brennan
So-
wants to be in another, our factions will fight.
I don't know if that affects
So-
you as characters, though. So I don't know how that works. So
we will see. There's
that's
a lot
the thing
to
I'm
come from
curious
this
about
game.
with that.
Yeah.
So
So
This game
it
is
sounds
huge.
pretty complex, and I like that.
now about learning things, the game you have to find teachers. So the
Okay.
first person I found was what they call a Makazite spell sword. Back to you, Boyle. So in the beginning, this is the thing that
Excellent.
intrigued me. As soon as you get it, it's like, yo. So as soon as you learn from us and you gain the chain and become a spell sword, you get 15 points of your health and endurance back, and you get it completely back.
So you get it back, or you gain. So you gain more. You
Yeah,
gain
so
15
gain-
more.
I gain it back.
Sacrificing so much of my health for mana, and then I'm going to there.
I'm
No,
becoming a
you're gonna-
Kazite spell.
Now here's what I've learned too. You only get 3 classes you can learn. So you can learn.
Can you use
everything-
them simultaneously, or do you have
Yes.
to pick which
no,
class?
they stack on each other.
Nice.
So with this one, I chose the Kazite one, and I relinquished one of my skill
Oh,
chains.
and you can release things and
No.
get a new one.
So no, I have only 2 spell chains left. So I only have 2 out of the 3, and I'm assuming each of these are passive abilities that add on to your character. Like I just met another mage who's going to teach me if I do it. All of my boons that I cast on myself, like the possession boon that I gained from this guy. Possession is decay, bleed damage.
Yeah.
I can increase my bleed damage with this boon, but if I learn from this mage, he's gonna make my damage go farther. It'll make either the
So
percentage.
your boons are like more efficient.
Yes,
That boon he found, by the way, was a character that rescued him.
A random death.
A nice character.
Yes.
And
Wow.
said, "Here, I'll teach you this."
This game sounds
you
incredible.
clearly need
Yeah.
it.
yep. So I
How
learned.
did
Why are
we
you
not
dying
know
so
about this
often,
game?
bro? Here,
It's
take
an
this.
indie. It's a very small developer. They
Man.
11 people team, and it's only $40. So it doesn't really have the marketing budget. So it is small.
Well, I really want to continue the conversation, but we are running short. Actually, we ran overtime today. So the game is Outward. It's available now for $40, and it's Jake's recommendation that you go out and purchase that.
Oh hell yeah!
I mean, Jay convinced me, so I got it.
And a lot of us are going to play that game, and I'm sure next week we're going to be talking about it in great detail of all of our experiences. But until then, that is TSGG chat for this week. Having a great week.
See ya.
See you all next
Bye.
time.